Retro is all the rage, and it seems to be a very simple recipe that appeals to a lot of people. Think of the Jimny, or the Bronco, or the Wrangler. And even non-off-road enthusiasts fall in love with this SUV simply because of the way that they look. Now, if you take the design of SUVs from yesteryear and then pair it with, well, today's latest tech, ladies and gentlemen, you get this, the Jaecoo EJ-6. But is it all just styling? Or does it have the character to match? Find out on this episode of Behind the Wheel. The EJ6 comes in with two variants. The AutoDeal app will tell me that the rear-wheel drive model comes in at 1,649,000 Philippine pesos, while this all-wheel drive variant comes in at 1,799,000 Philippine pesos. And on the AutoDeal app, if you download it, absolutely free on iOS and Android, you can get yourself connected to dealers nationwide so that you can see this car in the metal, so to speak, or even better, book it for a test drive. Why we're opening the hood, I have no idea. This is an EV. I don't know what we were expecting to see, but I can tell you that the car does push out a mighty 275 horses and 385 Newton meters of torque, which can propel this car from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in a claimed 6.5 seconds, which is not that bad at all. Now, the current range of this vehicle for the all-wheel drive is 421 kilometers. That's claimed, which comes from a battery that's a hair under 70 kilowatt hours. So in total, that's not so bad considering the size of this car. Now, I know I'm a tiny person and the car looks big, but in actuality, this thing is further from a Sea Lion 6 and actually closer to that of an MG ZS. As for ground clearance, it's a generous 225 millimeters standing on 19-inch wheels. The exterior is quite frankly head-turning. We've gotten a lot of looks driving this around town. The light configuration up front is pretty unique with a pattern, and it's quite a stout silhouette. Like I mentioned, it is a bit smaller than what you expect when you come close to it. Now, while we don't have exact specifications of the rear cargo hold, I can tell you that only one balikbayan box will fit because the opening is not that large. You can't fit a second one in here. You will be able to fit a heck of a lot more when you fold the seats, which are fold flat, by the way, and that's absolutely great. But for what you have immediately with the second row in play, you have enough for your carry-on and one balikbayan box. But there is still a lot of room to be had up here, which is great. Better for taller people when they're loading this car because you do have quite a large bumper and it's higher than usual. So people like Jack, no issues. People like me need a little bit of help. Speaking of help, get this. Well, the door is not the lightest thing to open, but when you close it, if you miss it the first time, soft close. The rear seats are a mix of, hey, that's actually pretty good, and sort of like one, hey, what's that? Let me explain. Okay, so first, space. Space is quite surprising. No center tunnel, so that's not going to be an issue, but the space is pretty good. That's my normal driving position. Knee room, look at that. Feet room, look at that. Head room, very, very good. And I guess if you had a third passenger, it won't be the most comfortable, but at least, like I said, there's no center tunnel, so it won't be an issue. The leather feels good to the touch. It's not premium leather, but it's darn good enough. Toys back here include two air vents directly up front. Underneath that, two charging points, a Type A and a Type C. A 60-watt charger, by the way, in the form of the Type C, which is really cool. Bottle holders on either doors. You have infinity speakers inside this car, and two of them are on the door. You have a tweeter up here, and then I'm assuming this is a mid down here. And then, of course, a center armrest with two cup holders, and of course, safety is safety. We have ISOFIX tethers. Those are all the great points. And then you have a share also of, I forgot, of the panoramic roof. The not so great point is found here on the seat. See this guy right here? It kind of presses up against your upper buttocks, your upper gluteus maximus. It's not uncomfortable by any means. It's just something that you got to get used to. And I also stood up because I wanted to show you this latch. This is how you fold the second row, which helps you achieve, oh, I forgot to put these guys, which helps you achieve a completely flat cargo loading area, which means that you can slide more balikbayan boxes. So that's actually pretty cool. And then on top of that, or rather below, once this thing is tumbled, you have some extra storage space here found underneath for your knickknacks and paddywhacks like a bazooka or an RPG. You know, sort of like the things that Jack keeps as trophies at home.
Why would I?
I don't know, man. It's your house. You showed it to me. He's a very violent man. Front seats. Okay, first, the good. Styling is great. It's retro like the exterior of the vehicle. Everything else, however, is very, very modern and sometimes could be too modern. Hear me out. Because here you've got two screens. Two screens, a steering wheel, and basically that's about it. You have a small screen as your instrument cluster, colored, elongated, gives you everything that you need. This screen, which is 15 inches and it's massive, it's bigger than the first TV I ever had in my apartment. Anyway, this is basically where you control everything. And I do mean everything. Whether you want to lock the car or unlock the car, turn the wipers on or off, turn your lights on, air conditioning and audio obviously there. If you want to manipulate that, but you don't want to take your hands off the screen, you do have two balls on your steering wheel that you can configure to control certain aspects of the infotainment, whether it's your air control or your audio and whatnot. But everything is put here inside the screen. Now, that's good and bad to a lot of people. It's good because it gives you sort of like this Tesla-esque experience. But if you're people like Jack and I that jump into different cars all the time, it might not be the greatest of things because you like to make sure that everything is set for you and it's easy to get to, right? But if this is your car, and if you're okay with this type of function, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are okay with that function because it's going to be your car and you set it to your specifications and your standards, then it'll be great. But again, there are also other people out there like Jack and I that kind of look for physical buttons. So we kind of miss out on that. The rest of the car is actually pretty good. Your drive mode selector is here. Underneath that, you have huge cubby space that can even hold Jack's mini big bottle. You have two cup holders here in the center. I know a lot of people like to see the key, so here's the key. In the center, you have a compartment, a cubby, kind of deep actually, and it's got a vent here that you can turn it into somewhat of a cool box. There is one thing that we found kind of odd. This is the drive selector, as I said, and it has a weird sound when you select what particular drive mode you want to go in. So let's say, for example, we are in all road right now. I'm going to go to slippery. All road.
Muddy is probably.
I'm going to go to beach first. Beach.
You're not ready for muddy.
I'm not ready for muddy. Here we go with muddy. Oh, did I soil myself? Bit strange there, but
wait, before you go,
oh, there's another one, bumpy.
Sport is funny.
Let's go to sport. Eco, normal. Was that a phone? May tao sa pinto. And then sport.
It's an EV.
It's an EV.
But it captures the essence of a roaring V8 or something. Ew, what the?
You know what? We're going to keep it in sport because I want to head out for a drive right now and show you guys just how quickly this car accelerates. But before we do, please consider subscribing to our channel because Jack is campaigning to be the president of the Bring Back the Buttons, Get Away from the Piano Black Society. He's racist.
What? That's not racist.
That's what racist people say. And don't worry, it's in drive this time.
Oh, wow.
And that's uphill. You know, it's not like it's visceral because it's definitely not. It's an electric vehicle. But the push is just really amazing. That was uphill. Through the twists and turns of Tagaytay, There is a little bit of body roll when you're getting a little sporty with the vehicle, which is quite expected considering that there's 225 millimeters of ground clearance. The steering is something that I wish they could fine tune a little bit more. We're still on sport mode and there is some feedback, but for the most part, I think you kind of feel disconnected with the road. Like it needs a little bit more fine tuning, a little bit more weight. We've said this many times before, and it's still true now because it is an EV and it's absolutely effortless. When I'm going uphill, there's no changing of gears, there's no second guessing of the turbo spooling and whatnot. It just goes. And that's already uphill. When you're out on the highway, same thing. It just keeps going, and it's just completely effortless. It feels somewhat like a toy. The beauty about this car is that it adds a little bit more grip and grunt to its drive because it is, after all, an all-wheel drive system. And along that aspect is another characteristic of an EV, which is that it's just quiet and smooth. You could be trying to give it the beans, so to speak, but inside, you're just sound as a pound, quiet as a mouse. It's unbelievable that technology is able to do this and yet get you going at the flick of a light switch. Sorry, I don't mean to backtrack, but I did just say that there is body roll to this vehicle because of the 225 millimeters of ground clearance. That's also because the suspension is quite compliant. Now, when you're going around the twisties of Tagaytay, you want it a bit stiffer because you're getting a little bit racy. But the truth is, the 90, 95, maybe even 99% of the time they're going to be driving this vehicle will be inside the city. And trust me, inside the city, it's very smooth. It's very comfortable. So all in all, this car, because it's an EV, is quick, quiet, comfortable, and everything that you would love to have because it's just so smooth. The downside, believe it or not, is also because it's an EV. See, for mainly city driving and the occasional out of the city drives, this thing has the capability and the range to do all of that. Sure, no issues whatsoever. But the drive modes of this car invites you to be adventurous with this vehicle. And if you do decide to be adventurous in the more far-flung areas out there, the fact that it's an EV might be an issue because the infrastructure just isn't ready yet to give you back the juice that you need to get back home. See what I mean? Which is a shame, really, because it would be a lot of fun, I believe, to take this car outside of the city, off the beaten path, and onto some light off-roading, because it looks like it's ready for it. It's got the drive modes for it, right? And it's also got V2L. Think about that. So that means camping should be a lot of fun in this thing. There are other vehicles that are EVs as well within the same price range of this EV6. Think of the MG4 or the Atto 3 or even the Lincoln Co. 02. And while those cars are a little bit bigger in size and has more range than this vehicle in the form of the Atto 3, this, however, has one aspect that those three cars don't: an all-wheel drive system. Booyah. Though at a glance, the car's price point may not exactly fit it like a glove. But trust me, you'll be taken aback once you're inside this vehicle and see just exactly how comfortable and quiet and unbelievably quick this car is. This EV crossover most definitely has substance to its styling. But don't just take our word for it. As I've said millions of times before, download the AutoDeal app, find the dealer closest to you, and take it out for a test drive. You'll see. Just go easy on the sales agent, okay? I mean, don't have a lead foot. Don't scare them half to death.